I've been in the dating industry for over a decade, and I've seen thousands of men of different sizes, creeds, ages go out and approach women. And I've seen them try to use the advice that other dating coaches give them, and not all of it's amazing. A lot of it actually is pretty shit, to be fair. And for this reason, I figured that I could make this video denouncing some of the advice I've seen other men give that has been honestly ruining a lot of your dating lives, that has been making it really difficult for you to go and talk to women you find attractive. So number one is fighting the friend zone. When you guys go out and about and you guys go talk to women in the clubs and the bars, you guys get annoyed when the girls don't find you attractive, which is ridiculous. I mean, if you have female friends, what's the worst thing that can happen? That other girls will see you with other girls and then get more attracted to you because you are surrounded by women. Not to mention by you getting so upset by the fact that a girl isn't into you in that way, you're also setting yourself up for failure for the next girl you talk to. If this girl doesn't find you attractive in the moment, which is something that happens, she might even find you attractive down the line. Let's say that you go and talk to a girl early in the night and you're not really feeling in a great headspace. Well, the girls you talk to are going to be less likely to find you attractive. That's just how it works. But as the night goes on, you set her up as a friend, you're very calm and comfortable with it, you are actually excited to have a new friend, somebody that you can connect with and click with. You instead get all butthurt, which she senses and she can tell. And then if you talk to her down the line, oh yeah, that's the guy that got butthurt, that wasn't relaxed and calm and happy and relaxed. It's gonna make it quite awkward for her if you guys start talking again. Instead, if you leave on the high notes and you come back later when you're in a better headspace, when you're more of a free, fun headspace. The second piece of advice that I've seen that has been affecting a lot of men is plowing. Plowing is a god-awful term for people that are into mystery method, which for those of you who don't know what mystery method is, it's an old gamey tactic made by men who are autistic trying to figure out how to talk to girls. And it's really, honestly, the entire system is fucked up and it's not something that actually truly works. I'm happy that they ever did it because I think it gave a lot of men a lot of hope that they can figure this out. And some men did. Some men put in the fucking work and figured out how to be more attractive to the opposite sex, and they lived better lives for it. But the overall concept that they came up with that honestly ruined a lot of guys' dating experiences early on. So one of them is plowing. Plowing is bad. So let me explain why. Plowing is the idea that if a girl doesn't initially like you, you're going to keep talking at her until eventually she flips and starts liking you. Now, unless you're in a really playful, fun mood, this is a terrible strategy. Unless she's like just a lukewarm, or you're really good at reading social cues, this is a bad strategy. Why not, instead of you plowing when she doesn't like you, why not leave the interaction on a good note and say, hey, don't even worry about it, have a good night, and go talk to somebody else. Now, the cool thing about this is you leave on the high note. You leave on the high note, which the last thing a girl will ever remember about you is a high note. When you leave an interaction, especially in a bar club or nightclub, you are leaving momentarily, and then you can come back later because you left on a high note. Now, if you wait till the conversation goes into that lull where it's her feeling awkward and you feeling awkward, now it's going to be harder for you to come back later. As opposed, if you can sense the conversation is about a dip, or she's not exactly initially into you, and then instead of you make an excuse to leave to go talk to your friends or go hang out with somebody else, you instead keep trying to push the interaction, trying to convince her to like you. Now, because you pushed the interaction, both you and her now are in a worse mood for it. You're in a terrible mood. She's in a bad mood. Now you're going to take that energy to the next girl you talk to. Instead of you leaving the high note, leaving on the win, and going talking to the next girl. Which strategy is better? A lot of you men come from a background of being very goal-oriented. It gets the job done. It allows you to accomplish big goals. But in terms of learning attraction, in terms of learning how to be more of a seductive, sexy man, it's a bad strategy. Let me explain. Your brain works much like a computer. Now, if you are a computer trying to run a program and you have all these tabs open, let's say over here you're thinking about executing said plan you read in one book with a girl, or doing this objective, or doing this and this and this, and you have all these different tactics in your head, these sales tactics on how to pick up girls in your head, and you're just stacking them all, and you're trying to have an authentic conversation with a girl, it's going to be impossible because you're thinking about a dozen different things, and your brain, being a computer, is going to have a hard time executing a program of having a normal conversation with a girl if it's thinking about all these different things. So what I call this is the frat boy scientist dichotomy. Now, when you're out and about, you maybe want to work on one thing at a time to improve your social skills. So maybe you want to be using eye contact. Maybe you want to be working on your tone, speaking more in your belly, deepening your voice. Maybe you want to be taking on more slow, languid movements. Whatever it's going to be, focus on that one thing, and the rest of it is just having fun and being relaxed. Now, when you get home, then you can think like a scientist. You can overthink till the sun rises. You can write down thousands of pages of notes. You can do whatever the hell you want. But when you're out and about talking to girls, turn it the fuck off. The dumbest idiots in the world do the best with women. Turn your brain off, be in the moment, have a lot of fun. Number 4, scanning. I go to the bars and the clubs out here in Vegas all the time, especially when I'm out coaching and doing boot camps. And I see a lot of you guys out and about, and you guys are standing in the corner, scanning the crowds creepily. And you think that you are looking for those gorgeous girls, and you're trying to, find your targets, quote unquote. And I'll put it this way: we all see it. The girls see it. I see it. Everybody sees you guys doing this, and they know what you're doing. And it's very clairvoyant, and it puts you in a headspace of being like almost a vulture or a jackal, instead of you just being a giving, caring human being who's just trying to put out a lot of positive energy. The proper way to be is not just to talk to the beautiful women, talk to the guys, talk to ugly girls, talk to everybody, talk to the couples, talk to groups, and you want to have expansive, fun energy. Treat everybody like they're your best friend. Now, in the act of you doing this, you become more extroverted, more outgoing, more fun, more free. And when you do finally find that cute girl you find attractive, it's not like she was the only person you talked to. You already talked to dozens of other people, and you're having fun in the process. So by the time you talk to her, you're warmed up. And now you have the right energy to have an authentic conversation with the girl in front of you. Now, the final point is tactics versus mindsets. Now, I talked about this a little bit in point number 3, but I'm going to reiterate. A lot of men, when they first get into this, because you guys are such engineers, you guys overthink the hell out of everything. You guys take that energy to talking to girls. Here's the problem with this. Not to sound like a woke individual, but by you being so tactical and you playing so many games when you talk to a girl, she senses that you're treating her like an object. And now here's the problem. You treat somebody like an object, they're going to treat you the same way in kind. So if you're wondering why girls are harshly rejecting you or being rude as fuck to you, it's because they sense that you're not being authentic with them. They sense that there's a wall up between you and them. They sense that you're pushing buttons. Girls are socially intelligent as fuck. You want to be more mindsets based over tactics based. If you have the right mindsets, you have the right ideals, if you have the right level of confidence, you can't help but say the right things all the time. Not because you have all the right tactics, but because the mindsets and the person you are is constantly pushing through the right thing. So a girl maybe says some sideways stuff to you, instead of you thinking, all right, now how do I execute plan A, B, C? Because when a girl says this, supposed to say this, you just naturally say the right answer because you have developed the right kind of personality that it interacts with a woman in a masculine way. So no matter what you fucking say, it comes across sexy, it comes across right, and you can never do the wrong thing. If you're trying to be constantly tactics based, you can come to a point to where you're so good at doing tactics and being a salesy kind of a person to where you can get a girl in bed, but it falls apart at some point. At some point, you're no longer the person you are, it falls apart, and when that happens, the girl's gonna lose attraction. You can't have the willpower to pretend to be somebody else for your entire life. You have to learn how to become the man that is sexy. And if you can't do that, you're fucked. All right, if you are interested in coaching, text 702-841-9909. Text coach to that phone number. And with that being said, peace.
Yeah, I flow like a river, I'm a big wave. And they say the kid is sick enough to spit AIDS. Get paid, leave a brother limping if he bitch made. Reaching for my trigger while I stick you with a switchblade. Real players never get played. Always getting bitches, I've been pimping since the 5th grade. Listen to the kid, he's just so vicious how he spits.